So, welcome and thank you for being here. I'm Guido Meardi of Vinova with my colleague Fabio. You will hear from us again immediately later because we have a few important and exciting announcements for today. You've seen this morning we announced, unfortunately we don't have audio, I'm sorry. It doesn't work. They're trying to fix it. Apologies, so I'm trying to speak as loud as possible. So this morning you've seen our joint announcement with Eutelsat that Eutelsat made an investment in Vinova as part of a strategy to jointly accelerate the adoption of high quality video services via Perseus, and we are of course very excited about it, and we have here Cristiano Benzi of Eutelsat that I would like to welcome and that can explain a little bit further what this partnership is about. So thank you, Cristiano.
Thank you, Guido. Thank you, Fabio. Yes, well, I've been introduced already. I'm Cristiano Benzi of Eutelsat. The announcement today is, as a matter of fact, that Eutelsat is entering into the capital of Vinova, is taking a minority stake. In the framework of the agreement that we have signed with Vinova, we are now discussing the finalization of a commercial agreement, which will be soon in a few weeks, in a couple of weeks, to start selling Vinova solutions in the market where Eutelsat is present.
We have it working.
In the markets where Eutelsat is present, to leverage in particular the satellite video business, which is the core business of Eutelsat. Why is Eutelsat doing that? We believe that it is important for Eutelsat to take a further step in entering into technologies that can facilitate the migration of our customers to better quality video services. We believe that Vinova technologies can be instrumental for facilitating the migration to HD, Ultra HD television services, and we believe that it's important to sign an agreement with important technological partner like Vinova is for mastering the entire value chain. I want to stress the entire value chain because television is not only distribution, television is quality all along the video chain. We have been collaborating already with Vinova. It was the subject of the movie that unfortunately we couldn't show. As you might know, in July we took part together to a very important, I wouldn't call it trial, I would call it service. Rai Radio Televisione Italiana has selected Eutelsat and Vinova to broadcast live the final phases of the Euro 2016 Football Championship. This was broadcasted to final users, to Rai public, as a service. It was not a technological demonstration. It was important for us to keep the quality, as we were talking about the Ultra HD signal, to keep the quality intact. And we made use of Vinova technologies to contribute from the International Broadcasting Center up to our teleport. We were doing the personalization of the signal on our teleport in Rambouillet, close to Paris. We've chosen Vinova hardware to keep the quality intact and transparent. Quality is much more than video quality itself. We have also declared the being emotion, more or less, more than anything else. Vinova has been used as well to contribute the signal carried from Rai premises, Rai Radio Televisione Italiana, because we were doing a full program with insertion of pre-match and post-match and the interviews and so on. And of course, there is a lot to do as well on the distribution front. To, I want to stress it again, facilitate and accelerate the migration to better quality distribution channels via satellite. In particular, respect high definition and ultra high definition migration. There are many other aspects where many other topics that we believe will be where Vinnova technology will be instrumental, like IPTV services via satellite, a product that we call a Smart Beam, and come to our booth, we can describe it to you. And many other applications like satellite news gathering, light satellite news gathering for news usage, where the rate is very low and the quality has to be very high. That's more or less the idea, the reason why Eutelsat has taken this step. We know Vinnova since years. I personally know Fabio and Guido since much more years. We trust them a lot, and we hope that it will be the start of a very long, successful relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cristiano, and same here. You know, we are super convinced that this partnership is headed to very, very important successes. And this example, the Eutelsat example, is a very good example of how Perseus is unlocking latent demand, essentially enabling to serve demand that otherwise would be very difficult to serve. This is extremely important because we believe, as Vinnova, in the possibility of delivering next-generation TV and media services today with existing infrastructure, which means sidestepping and surpassing the constraints of existing infrastructure and devices. And that's why use cases and applications of Perseus and deployments of Perseus are snowballing across a number of use cases. And so, Fabio, let's see some of them.
Yeah. It's worth, and it's a good reminder, I think, to address and understand exactly where and how Perseus can help, literally unlocking this latent demand for video and better services. And we have examples across the whole value chain in different regions, different type of applications. Premium mobile OTT service in emerging countries being one. We have deployments where we saw that lowering the threshold of video delivery below a certain step, in this case, like the delivery over 2G networks, unlocks massive demands with massive subscriber growth, massive streaming and viewing over those networks where previously, prior to the deployment of a Perseus-enabled solution, it wasn't possible to access videos. And the numbers speak for themselves. As I said, 50% of people streaming video over 2G in our deployment in India, 60% streaming versus the 40% downloading, which is counterintuitive compared to the usage that we have here in Western Europe. But it's not just emerging countries. We published some results. We are very engaged with companies in more mature markets where the issue of monetizing the content on more advanced networks still exists. Again, people want to access quality content, want to access sports, news, movies on their mobile networks. It's very difficult to do so at high quality over unreliable networks, and we all, I'm sure, have experienced. And we've demonstrated, and there is a report on our website, that Perseus and Perseus-enabled solutions can act in both dimensions, kind of lowering the thresholds on the bandwidth side while increasing the resolution and the quality for the viewer. Ultimately, again, rendering the service possible and monetizable in the first place. It's not just about mobile networks. We have deployments that we showed that IP-delivered video services over fixed networks can also benefit for this kind of step change in performance. Again, where is that barrier to unlock that latent demand? We have cases in IPTV, both live and VOD, where lowering the HD bandwidth below a certain threshold enables customers to go from fiber-only services to be able to provide HD services over DSL. So it's not a matter of percentage, it's a step change, it's a 8 times in that case increase in the reach and basically targetable market. And these numbers, I mean, these curves are fairly typical of broadband speeds around Europe and the world. And so these numbers can apply across all these different regions. They're even better if you think about 4K. You know, plenty of services launched with 4K. How many people have 15, 20, 25 megabits a second reliable bandwidth speed? So, you know, we're really talking about premium services for all. And, well, it's not just about broadcast TV or OTT TV. What else are we showing here at IBC, Guido?
Yeah, we have a new announcement and we're demonstrating new things and new use cases at IBC, in particular a very powerful use case. At IBC 2016, as you know, everybody's talking about 360 and virtual reality immersive video. We believe a lot in 360 and VR because ultimately, as Cristiano was saying, video is about emotions, and there's nothing like giving consumers and end users the possibility to immerse themselves into the content with the power of choice. You know, I can choose where to focus my attention. So it's great, but we also know that there is a very important problem, because how can I have a truly high-end immersive experience, whether it's 360 or VR, without having necessarily to buy a very costly Oculus that is cabled to a costly PC? If we think about it, those experiences must become mobile. They need to become mobile. They need to be accessible with smartphones, with what we have in our pockets, with what billions of people have in their pockets, and they must be deliverable with the current infrastructure in some ways. And so this poses a very big problem, because if we want to have it mobile, we have a problem with bit rates, and we have a problem with processing power. And as you can imagine, Perseus has very good answers to both of these problems. And so here at IBC, we are demonstrating 360 and VR immersive video at very practical bit rates, ultra high definition at 4 megabits. But that's not all decodable by any legacy device, and decodable in particular also by HD legacy devices. So devices that normally wouldn't be able to decode high quality immersive experiences. This is extremely important because this unlocks the possibility to deliver high quality services to people that already have these devices in their pockets. So making it practical, making it possible today with current infrastructure and current deployed devices. But this is not all, because this is what we are demonstrating today, what it's deployable in the coming weeks. But it's not enough if we want to go to the truly high-end experience, because you know that by stitching cameras together, you can quickly get to very, very high resolutions. So in our roadmap, together with our partners, we're already working to do what we are demonstrating here at IBC at the next level, which means 16K VR and 360 immersive video, encodable, decodable with existing devices, and transmittable with existing infrastructure. So watch the space for 2017. And, you know, by next year we will have shown also something about that. And yeah, and actually we are all about the fact that it has to be Perseus. And the use cases that we discussed ultimately are all use cases and applications that have amazing business cases, because they unlock a lot of demand and a lot of business and give consumers a lot of quality at lower costs. They are possible only with Perseus. If you want to do any of the things that Fabio talked about or what I just talked about, the only way to do it today with existing devices, existing infrastructure is Perseus. So that's why we say it has to be Perseus, because it's really the possibility to do something that makes a lot of sense, has amazing business cases, and can be deployed today. And it's actually already deployed today in most of the cases that we mentioned and it's been going on for a few months very successfully.
We also do understand that it's not only about the technology. The technology is a true and demonstrable and deployed enabler now. And since the very beginning of our story, which is only 18 months old in this industry, we can partner with the players in the ecosystem to ensure that then we could take the technology, make it available and deploy it in a reliable fashion in the fastest possible way. And you may have seen, we've announced partners over the last 2 years. And in the last 2 weeks, we announced 2 new partners in Dimitris and Vimi. And to us, these are particularly important because while we were here last year announcing component parts, the integration in encoders, in media players, we've gone past that step now where there are basically end-to-end ecosystems that are Perseus enabled. So ensuring that we can deploy Perseus services faster and faster, whether it's in contribution, whether a network management system by Dimitris comes with support for Perseus and Perseus devices, or in an online streaming, online video platform like Vimi, where one can deploy a full Perseus-enabled OTT service literally in a matter of days. It's a fully modular end-to-end platform that includes advertising, billing, analytics, and of course transcoding and media player enabled by Perseus. So literally, we're working with this ecosystem partner to ensure that Perseus is deployable as quickly as possible, and we can enable those services and those use cases that we talked about.
Cloud-based services and software-defined networks are more and more key to the industry, as we well know. And of course, Perseus can play and will play a very important role in accelerating the transition to cloud-based and software-defined workflows. So we are very excited and proud to announce today that here at IBC 2016, we are demonstrating our end-to-end integration of Perseus within the arguably number 2 cloud-based platform on the planet and the number 1 installed base of decoder devices, Microsoft. So in particular, what we're showing here at IBC is an end-to-end example of our integration of Perseus with the Azure cloud platform, the Azure Media Services, delivering video to Windows 10 devices, Perseus enabled, via the Windows 10 media libraries. This is particularly important because by integrating Perseus with the Windows 10 media libraries, providers and operators can now deploy extremely quickly services that cater to, as I was saying, the biggest installed base of devices on the planet, which goes from consoles, Xbox, to PCs, laptops, tablets, Surfaces, Windows phones. And this is, of course, as you can imagine, a very big step in enabling very quick deployment of end-to-end services, again, leveraging the cloud platform of Azure and leveraging the broad installed base and growing installed base of Windows 10 devices.
Question. So just to summarize, I think we're very excited to announce a Eutelsat with whom we worked for a long time, who's taken a stake in Vinnova, and we're starting a commercial partnership. New exciting applications for Perseus demonstrated at this trade show. Unique, really, what we think unlocking of the VR opportunities. And a new integration within a cloud-based transcoding and streaming services by Microsoft Azure and compatibility with all Windows 10 devices.